Hello, cartoon fanatics. RJ here, and welcome to another Cartoon Corner covering Star vs. the Forces of Evil. This video, it's probably coming out a day later than I wanted it to, so sorry about that. Yesterday, or whenever, the 17th was my birthday. That's all you need to know, and that's when the new episodes came out. So I woke up super early to watch them. I actually got to watch them on a TV this time. That was exciting. Supporting the cast and crew, that made me happy because I normally can't do that. So details aside, this video is probably coming out later than I intended it to be, but who cares about that? Let's get down into the nitty-gritty. Where we last left our intrepid heroes, they had just gotten Moon back, she had complete amnesia, and somewhere between the last episode and the next episode, Star is kind of filling Moon in on who she is and all of that. And Moon's pretty docile for the most part. I'm still not quite sure she's got her whole memory intact just because she takes things very gracefully. But then again, this is Moon we're talking about. It's really hard to gauge exactly what's going on with her character, and part of me still thinks there's things that she doesn't remember that aren't quite clicking in, because Star explains the whole situation that happened, and now Eclipse is in charge, and she shows around the new place that Eclipse has got, and Eclipse welcomes Moon with open arms, kind of, and it's kind of awkward / sweet at the same time because Eclipse seems very sorry for the whole conflict she had with Moon involved with Meteora, and of course now that's all water under the bridge, and Eclipse seems very sorry for interfering and causing Moon to go to the magic dimension in the first place. But in terms of whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, we don't quite know yet. Moon sees that Eclipse is trying to get out Globgor. She sees exactly everything that's going on, and she seems okay, somewhat okay. She tells Star that it wasn't the decisions she would have made as queen, but Star was queen and that was her decision, and she kind of treats Star like an adult now, which is really crazy to think about because Star's still technically a teenager, but Moon and River more or less retire. Yeah, they decided Moon doesn't want to be involved in whatever queenship's going on now because she seems to have a bad feeling about it. She actually says she does not trust Eclipsa, which, I mean, I honestly, I don't know if any of us are sure if we should still trust Eclipsa or not, because there's still sides of her where we go, I'm not sure about that. And Moon kind of seems to be on the same page. There's parts of Eclipsa that she's just not sure about. And honestly, I can't blame her for that, so she just kind of goes, okay, Star, you became queen after me. I've kind of done my part. I'm going to retire gracefully, so to speak. But it feels half done. Like, there's some part of Moon that doesn't seem to have quite been unlocked yet. And I know that Moon's been through an awful lot, but like, what about the whole Moon the Undaunted thing? I know she wasn't nearly as warrior queen as we thought she was with those flashbacks, but there's just some part of her that's still not quite there. And I get a feeling that later on it might be unlocked again, and that that's gonna start building up the conflict more and more to wherever all of this is going. As for Star herself, boy, has she kind of grown up, especially within the next episode after Moon Remembers. She has to balance out a fight between Eclipsa and, oh gosh, what's the crystal guy's name? Romulus, that's it. His name's Romulus. You know, the guy with the snake hand. That guy. I don't like Romulus very much. He kind of drives me nuts. But Star's got to resolve an issue between them because Eclipsa gets Romulus to be like, hey, take my husband out of those crystals you did. And Romulus, of course, is going, no, we can't do that. That's insane. You're crazy. You're evil. They get into huge arguments. And Star, she's trying to make her beach day happen, because she knows the beach day will happen in the future and she'll be very happy when it happens. She's got Marco and Tom setting all of this up, and she keeps like telling them, don't worry, it's going to happen. We're going to have beach day today. But then Eclipsa and Romulus are having their big fight, so she has to deal with that. And it eventually gets to the point where Star realizes she just has to intervene and explain to Eclipsa that she can't use dark magic to get what she wants, no matter how badly she wants it. She's got to think of the kingdom first. And that was very interesting to hear coming from Star. In a way, the way Eclipsa is now kind of reminds me of the Star we knew at the very beginning of the show. the impulsive, I do things because I want to, and this is about what I want, and I don't really think about the rule or the responsibility that's going to be put on me one day because it stresses me out. So Eclipsa reminds me a lot of young Star in terms of that. Well, younger Star, I suppose. And Star's almost kind of like the more mature one in this situation because she's been through all of this at this point. She realizes the importance of duties and maintaining the kingdom, and she kind of calms Eclipsa down because there's a point where Eclipsa possesses Romulus in order to try and decrystallize her husband, and Star explains, no, you can't keep going this path because that is what makes people think you're evil. Oh my gosh, the clock's going off. I hate this house! So before I was rudely interrupted by the grandfather clock, gosh, vacation is never exactly what you expect it to be. Anyway, before that happened, what was I saying? Oh yes, Star and her maturity. She's actually gotten a lot of character growth, and it's only now that I'm kind of really seeing it. And the Star we have now, if you compare her to the Star from season 1, they're not the same person anymore. She's really accepted responsibilities and understands the importance of maintaining the kingdom and the importance of people, and especially trying to balance out the human and monster relationships. Having Eclipsa as queen does help with that a little bit because Eclipsa is so pro-monster. But at the same time, Eclipsa still uses childish tactics in her decisions, and that's not going to help with her rule, and it's not going to help people look at her in the right light. So luckily she's got Star there to help her out. It's a very interesting dynamic and kind of a cool one to see. And I know we still aren't fully sure if Eclipsa is truly evil or not. I kind of get more of the sense of that Eclipsa is a little bit reckless. She doesn't tend to think before she acts on her spells, and because her spells are kind of imaginative like Star's are, but they're a little bit more on the dark side, and it's because of that, and between that and her recklessness and her desire to get her husband back and to do what she wants to do, that's what leads people to thinking that she's evil. She's just making decisions and not thinking about the effects that it has on the rest of the kingdom. The next new one, I'm not really going to go into that one real much. It was kind of more of a filler. It was a super cute and fun filler. It's just Star and Marco going to the future dimension, and Marco's got his abs. And then they meet up with a partner of future Marco's, a pretty strong woman who's also got abs. And they go on a future Marco and future lady adventure. I can't remember the woman's name, but her character design was super cool. And Star's just kind of in the middle of all this, like, I got all these abs around me. So that episode was pretty fun. There wasn't really anything heavy to unpack there. It was just kind of a fun in-between relaxation episode. So yeah, that one was good. To get a breather, which is nice. But anytime there's slight breather episodes, I always worry that something really big is going to happen. And last, we kind of addressed the Starco elephant in the room. Is it technically an elephant? A magical elephant. The magical shipping elephant. That's a thing now. I'm calling it. It's gonna be the magical shipping elephant from now on. You all heard me. Make it happen. Someone tell Maddie Time. That's what we're calling it now. The magical shipping elephant. No one's gonna follow me on that. Dang it. Basically, Star and Tom go on their own little private beach day into the Demon Kingdom, and Tom's whole family is there. You kind of have a little bit of a conflict going on with Tom's mom, who I can't pronounce her name. Is it Rathmelior? Yeah, Rathmelior. It's Star. And in the midst of that, Rathmelior, in her rage, can literally create giant storms, which causes them all to be trapped inside. So, due to some digging and going through cute photo albums, we discover that the situation is because Star had kissed Marco in the photo booth episode. And Tom he was upset about it, but he was more upset that Star didn't tell him. He heard it from Marco, which he understood the situation kind of, even though we're not quite sure if that's exactly what happened. But the biggest issue, and that's good because I think that's important for a lot of relationships, is when stuff like that happens, whether you mean it to happen or not, you owe it to the person you're in a relationship with to tell them what happened. Because it's going to come out eventually, and it's just going to hurt that person more if they find out you hid it from them. Which is kind of what was going on with Tom. He understood that the situation had somewhat dire consequences, but he was more upset that Star had hid it from him. And honestly, I don't think he was upset at Marco, because Marco told him, and Marco was mortified about it, and Tom's like, yeah, we're cool, bro. Best bros. The best bros. But luckily him and Star work that out together, and Rathmelior's all happy, and then the storm goes away, and those were the new episodes. I don't really have much else to say about them, except we're starting to see some character development. We're starting to see how certain situations are beginning to unfold in terms of character dynamics and stuff. And once again, this is the last season, so this first half you can kind of feel that something is building up, and we're still not quite sure what it is. And as a matter of fact, there was one thing from last week's episodes that I totally forgot to mention. It just kind of sat on the back burner. And that's what Glossaryck said about going to the magic realm. That maybe they shouldn't have done that. And Star, as you probably all know, said, well, I had to go to the magic realm to get my mom, just like I had to go to the magic realm to defeat Toffee. And Glossaryck goes, well, maybe that was a mistake too. What does that mean? No one knows what that means, but it's really interesting because the second that quote dropped, all of the Toffee fandom rose again. Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride. People already have suspicions that that guy might come back as the big bad for the rest of the show, but we'll just have to wait and see. If you like this, make sure to put a thumbs up and press that like button. Comment below, I guess, about anything you might have to add about these Star episodes. I know I just kind of glossed over them a little bit this week. Things have just been a little bit crazy with travel. Also, for some reason, where I'm at, the episodes aired at 6 a.m. I'm not sure why, but me being me woke up early to watch them, and now nighttime me is kind of regretting that decision. But hey, whatever. I got to see them on the TV, which is something I never really get to do. I'll be back on my normal schedule by next weekend, though, so maybe I'll have more to dive into. It depends on the episodes. We certainly got a lot of fun stuff going on. We are really starting to see the characters come together. It's sort of, you can feel that the arc is starting to close in, and it's a nice feeling, but it's also kind of a terrifying feeling at the same time because there will be some big climax. This is all leading up to something. We just don't know what it is yet, and hopefully more clues will be unraveled or unveiled. Unveiled is not a word. Reveal, that's it. Hopefully more will be revealed within future episodes. So I will see you all then. Yeah, have a good week. Get sleep. Unlike me. You think I would learn that by now. I've been on this earth for 24 years and I still haven't learned about a proper sleep schedule.